How does currying help us? And this one's a tough one because there's a lot of programming languages that actually really don't work with currying, or they don't work with it very well. Like, you haven't seen any C++ or Java or anything else like this. It's always been some, I wouldn't say obscure, especially with JavaScript, but with Scheme, it's more obscure. JavaScript made it look pretty, and that's why I've been giving you JavaScript examples because it makes it look nice. You can do it in C++, but it's ugly. Um, you can, yeah, let's just put it that way. But what it's supposed to do for us is basically wait until the last moment and decide what we can do with the data. Now, why that's important is because most of the time when we're calling a function, we're usually saying, hey, this is what I want you to do, and this is what I want you to do with the data that I'm giving to you. So notice what we want to do is done first, and then the data second. But what if you don't know? What if you're given data, like I have here in this scheme spot, where I'm giving you a list, and then I tell you if I want you to sort it by less than or by greater than or ascending and descending? I should be able to make that decision. And again, remember, there's supposed to be a gap in between when this can be done. So this curry function that I'm showing you here, it works, and that's currying. But notice the functions are all happening at the same time, or I shouldn't say same time, but all relatively close. That's why the JavaScript example is a little bit more powerful because you can have a longer wait time. You can understand might be going through a database or waiting for a web page or something like that to load, and then you can give it that last call for it to finish its entire job. You really can't do that very nicely in the scheme example that I'm giving you. So what I want you to walk out of this with is that there is a way of breaking up your functions into curried portions that we call partial applications or fully applied. And just understand that we can hold whatever we want for that function to not complete quite yet, but we can add one more curried element to actually have it finish out. And that element can be a function. So currying looks very similar to what we're doing with our higher ordered functions because notice we're adding a function within a function telling it, hey, this is what I want you to do with this when everything is said and done. That's exactly what we have in this example that we have here for both the scheme and JavaScript is at the very last second, we're telling that function, this is what we want you to do with, specifically in the scheme example, another function with that data set.